The Nintendo DS has an incredible library. It has the most nostalgic games out there. It has so many good games. But let's be honest, talking about good games can be a bit boring. And that's exactly why it is time for me to dive into the world of the worst video games out there. Because sloppy games and cash grabs have always existed. For this video I picked 3 random games at the bottom of the Metacritic top game list of the Nintendo DS, and well, I played them. Yeah. And honestly, that might have just been a mistake. Our first game is called Toy Shop, which, as the name suggests, is a game where you're in a toy shop. How unique! The game starts off with 3 chibi characters walking from one area to another, with the credits of the game being shown at the top screen. It then gives us a lore dump about our grandpa that died and was a toy creator, and guess what? We get a shop. We can obviously do whatever we want with it, because no one can tell us what to do, right? Yet the grandfather left one final request, which we have to do to finish the game. And you'll never guess what it is. We have to earn $50,000 within 3 years. I think that seems a bit excessive, but I guess that's okay. We then proceed to get a full-on tutorial section on how we walk in town and how we talk to other human beings in this game. This was honestly such a long tutorial for, walking and talking. Not really much you can do in my opinion. So after all that, that's exactly what I do. I walk and I go talk to everybody, and honestly none of the people I talk to have anything interesting to say. I must say that I do like the vibe of this city. Okay, like is a big word. I'm intrigued by it. It's not too shabby, and there has definitely been some time put into this, but not much. I decide to return to the shop where I get yet another tutorial on how to decorate the shop. This game really thinks I need to be handheld for this kind of shit. It's a shop, alright, it's a shop. But in short, we can place shelves and desks to put the toys on. Then we can place our cash register, and that's it. Yeah, we did not need such a long tutorial for placing objects, which we can even see while placing them. I then add some toys on the desks to sell and then decide to go to the workshop where I get hit by yet another tutorial. Oh boy, this game is great. And you know what makes it even greater? In order to learn new toys, you have to try and make them, and you have a small chance in succeeding. At the start, the success rate is 9%, and every time you try and make something, you lose money and time, even if you fail. Hooray! So what does it not give you? Well, a level up on that item. The thing you need to actually increase that percentage, you don't get, even by trying to make it. That's not realistic. And I love that great game design. But honestly, it's actually not so bad of an idea. It could use some tweaks. But after all that, it's time to open the shop and make sure the customer buys our toys, which is a very boring process, like an actual boring process, because if the toys run out on the shelves, they get automatically restocked and there is nothing left to do. This is just the game. You just sit there and watch a movie while you play through this game, and that's honestly where I ended my session with this game, because I'm gonna be honest, it's just not fun. Like, the game is made okay, but it should have been way more interactive, especially for a DS game. I'm going to be honest, if the smartphone existed back then, it would have just been another smartphone game. I like the ideas of this game though. There was a small minigame to speed up the creation process of the toys, and I honestly think more games with timed processes need that. But I will not sit through 3 years of this game to get 50,000 bucks. That's boring. Okay, that's boring. But it's definitely not the worst game of this video. The next game on this list is Deal or No Deal. Yeah, like I said, it could be worse, because this game starts with an unskippable disclaimer that you have to read. Great, at least it's not that long. The game starts with some high resolution cutscenes that remind me of the show that I never watched, but it did give me show vibes. The first thing I did was just play through the TV show, where we start by picking a case that has money in it, and basically you just pick other cases to see what number you don't have, and the first one I picked was the highest prize. Are you fucking kidding me? Great. Either way, if you know how the TV show works, it's exactly that, I think. Yeah, I don't know. After you finish picking out the case, the bank gives you a deal, and you have to decide if you go for it or not.
Deal or no deal?
and that's the game. It actually just keeps on going like this until the end, where there are not many options left and the banker gives you lower deals at some point. So yeah, you have to time it right. And let me be honest, this shit goes slow. Like, it's so fucking slow. Like, every single time there's a phone call of the banker, it takes so long to get through it. This is unnecessarily long. It's just boring. There is another mode in this game that is basically Mastermind, which I guess is fun, but really, this one is just watered down. I honestly wouldn't even bother playing it again. I wouldn't bother doing that, no. It's just boring. All you have to do is like pick a case from 1 to 26 and see if it's the right number. It's either gonna say, oh, too high or too low. Which, yeah, then guess what? You have to guess something lower or higher. Wow, this is boring, okay. This is even more boring than Toy Shop. And that was already a snooze fest. At least in this game, the vibes were somehow right about it being a TV show. But yeah, that's core. That's cool right there. That's deserved. And for our last game, we are playing an all-time classic, Godzilla Unleashed. Hell yeah, I fucking love Godzilla. This game is going to be great. Of course it wasn't. What do you expect? Read the damn title of the video. Aside for the PNG cutscenes, which to be fair are definitely okay for that area of video games, we get to a story mode in the game that would put Subspace Emissary to shame. Like, look at these gigs and those breaths. Like, look at it. Yeah. You can tell me this game is not going to be amazing. Well, there is not much else you can do. You can't even attack up or down. The attack button is just attack. Yeah, great. But you know what the problem is with this game? Is that there is nothing blockable, I think. There was no tutorial for once. A cool thing about this game is that you can switch to an airborne fighter whenever you want. Honestly, that's a real good use of a dual screen on the Nintendo DS. I'm not gonna lie. At a certain point, you will have to perform combos on towers in order to destroy them. And wow, how incredible. Yeah, this shit sucks, dude. At least the bosses are okay, but like, then again, there is like barely anything we can do here to make it easy for us. This game was not playtested, I feel like, because you can also just, as the air monster, hide in the bottom left corner and barely get hit to get through the stage. I did give up on this game after another boss because I didn't know how to beat that one, and I don't think I could. So, I'm just bad at this game as well, so yeah, I'm giving up. But it was also bad. It was just a bad game, you know, obviously. Either way, those were 3 of the worst games on Nintendo DS. They were honestly bad, yeah, but I think I can find worse games. Let me know what you thought of the video and tell me if you want to see more. Either way, subscribe and like, and see you in the next video.